Welcome to the Wrangler World of Rodeo as we make a stop in Caldwell, Idaho for the Caldwell Night Rodeo. Hello everyone, Jeff Metters along with Butch Knowles. Our first event will be the bareback riding. Marvin Garrett won the first round. Deb Greeno was tough in that first round as well. The first cowboy is Cleve Schmidt. Here's a guy that really needs to hang on during the fall if he's going to make it to that big NFR party in December.
Right now he needs to hang on to this horse. Cheyenne comes from Dan Russell. He's a rank one, a good one to start off with if you have to gather some ground. Cleve came in 7th in this particular event. There's the whistle, and there's the get off. That's not really the way Cleve gets off most of the time, but he'll take it here at Caldwell.
But when you're a cowboy trying to qualify for your first NFR and you're kind of on the bubble, has to make for some very anxious moments in the fall.
It does. As it progresses into the fall, every time you get a chance to win money like Cleve has here, the pressure is just twice as much as it is at a normal rodeo throughout the year. He handled it quite well, though. 78 points. We'll see what that does.
Now to an Oregon cowboy. This is Matt Weisoff. Silk Tassels is the horse. This is another bronc from Dan Russell.
You know, it's funny when we get into the fall rodeos. Matt Weisoff, another cowboy who needs to win big if he's going to get to the finals. Tough horse right there. Rares moves out of it. Weisoff's been having a super year and a great effort here at Caldwell. We're going to watch a lot of cowboys in this short go performance that need to win here at Caldwell. It's going to be a very interesting finals.
Well, he needs 78 if he's going to take the lead in the average, but 75 points. Matt's going to come up a little bit short. Dwayne Hargo, the clown, though, gives him a bonus hug. And next up is going to be Sean Dudley, who comes to Caldwell from Salem, Utah. This is a Calgary horse that's been to the NFR the last 2 years.
We have 3 contractors represented here. The Calgary Stampede string, and that's one of their horses right there we're watching. And a good one, Skoll Yet Marvelous, and out of there as he comes around the corner letting it hang. That was wild.
Well, Sean made a little bit of money in the first round here in Caldwell, but he's going to come up empty today as he walks away with a no score. Well, injuries have plagued Larry Sandvik this year. Sprained neck, sprained back, fractured ribs. If you'll remember his get-off in Colorado Springs, it's probably a miracle he's riding today.
You know, he's coming back, though, and he's getting stronger and stronger, which is important going into the fall run. All those injuries came at the Greeley Rodeo way back in early July. And there's the whistle for Larry Sandvik.
A lot of guys on there are going to have some nerves this fall. Larry Sandvik, 21 in the world right now. He's got the experience to get out there this fall, hustle, and make it to the NFR.
Well, experience may tell the story when you finally get to the national finals. You cannot mess up a chance to win when you get it. And Sandvik took advantage of a very good horse.
Finished 8th in the world in 1995. No doubt he is one of the wilder cowboys that's going down the road today.
And Explosive Rocket comes from the Calgary Rodeo string, and an excellent horse. We're going to watch this horse at the national finals, that's for sure.
81 points for Larry Sandvik. That moves him to the lead in the average, and that's the best ride we've seen so far. Deb Greeno won the World Championship in 1993. Deb comes from Red Lodge, Montana.
Deb's another cowboy that's had some injuries, and one of the injuries happens to be a sore knee. And if you're a bareback rider, a knee injury is very difficult to contend with throughout the course of a year. And it looks like Deb may have had a few problems during this ride due to some knee injuries.
Well, he had a slow winter and spring thanks to those injuries. 14th in the world, and Deb's a cowboy that's really not used to being on the bubble. He's more prone to be in that top 5. 73 points for Deb Greeno. Now to Marvin Garrett, who's won 4 world championships, but believe it or not, he may be having the best year ever this year. We talked to him earlier.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a remarkable year. Just everything's been going real good for me, and I've been lucky and drawn the right horses in the right places and making good rides on them. And, you know, that's where a lot of it's coming from. But, well, I'll tell you, I've always dreamed of running away with one, and it looks like maybe this year I got a real good shot of doing that, and I'm going to just keep on going and see what happens.
Well, no doubt, Butch, if they're going to catch him in Las Vegas, they really have their work cut out for them.
Oh, Marvin Garrett has been on fire this year. The horse he has, well, Cowboy Nation, comes from Danny Russell. There's 3 contractors, as I mentioned earlier. Dan Russell from the Western Rodeo Company, the Calgary Rodeo Company, and Buddy Pins. They all bring their best stock, and it is definitely a riding contest.
Marvin Garrett was the Rookie of the Year back in 1984. He has gone on to have a very decorated career. Won the world the last 2 years in a row. Needs 77 points to unseat Larry Sandvik. 72, I'm sure Marvin is a little bit disappointed. So an 81-point ride vaults Larry Sandvik to the lead, and that is where he stays. He is the Caldwell Night Rodeo champion in bareback riding. There's a split for second. Here's 1995 Miss Rodeo America, Jennifer Douglas.
We have two of the best stock contractors that are known for their rough stock, and Larry Sandvik, who is known for his wild rides. Take me through your ride.
He was a real good horse. I had Calgary Exhibition and Stampedes. I seen him last week with Kenny Linscraft at OMAC, and he was a great, great horse. Tonight he just felt really good. One that you're able to open up, let everything kind of flow, and it worked out great. I was 81. I was tickled to death.
With just one rodeo to go, Clint Corey has the Wrangler Series lead. Larry Sandvik wins a $500 bonus for his efforts here in Caldwell. In the Crown Royal World Standings, Marvin Garrett is stealing the show. Garrett is trying to win his third straight Crown Royal bonus for finishing the regular season #1. Two past world champions, Herman and Corey, are right behind him. Mark Garrett is in the top 10, while Deb Greeno and today's winner, Larry Sandvik, are in the top 15. When we come back, the calf ropers take over. We'll return to the Wrangler World of Rodeo after this.
It's chasing after something you may never catch. It's hit or miss, and some days it's more miss. It's disappointing, it's dangerous, it's never, ever boring. In other words, it's exactly like a cowboy's life. At Wrangler, we know cowboys. Our genes were invented by them. Wrangler, the Western original.
Look out. Here comes more rodeo coverage in the all-new Pro Rodeo Sports News. More features, more action photos, more news, as the official newspaper of the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association now brings you weekly coverage during the busy summer rodeo season. Get all the information you're looking for, including the latest world standings now in 31 big issues, plus the glossy magazine-style year-end edition that recaps the National Finals Rodeo. Order now.
Dodge Ram has won a lot of awards from a lot of experts, from a lot of magazines. But according to a survey of new vehicle owners by Strategic Vision, Ram is also winner of the Total Quality Award for Best Owner Experience in its class for the second year in a row. An award from the most important truck experts of all, the people who make the payments. Dodge Ram, the rules have changed.
Ty Murray, some say the greatest rodeo cowboy of all time, and he's only 25 years old. This 6-time world champion all-around cowboy is captured by award-designed medals in this handsome lost wax, miniature sculptured solid brass buckle, and this beautiful 22-karat gold and silver plate buckle. Get your Ty Murray collector's buckle at Better Western stores near you.
Welcome to the Wrangler World of Rodeo. Our coverage of the Caldwell Night Rodeo from Caldwell, Idaho is brought to you by Wrangler, the only jeans and shirts endorsed by the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, by the new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation, by Award Design Medals, the official buckles of the PRCA, and by the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Some things just seem to work better after dark. Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Metters. For 62 years, the Caldwell Night Rodeo has been attracting the best rodeo cowboys in the world. Tonight, 10 world champions are scheduled to compete in front of a sold-out crowd of nearly 10,000. The atmosphere here is second to none. For more on that, let's go to Butch Knowles.
When I was 11 years old, I was staying at a relative's ranch about 90 miles to the south of here near a little town called Jordan Valley. During my stay, my cousin brought me and another boy to the Caldwell Night Rodeo. We actually sat in these very stands, and I took it all in. That night in Caldwell, it changed my life. I knew from that point on what I wanted to be and where I wanted to go. The mystique of the Caldwell Night Rodeo back then was tremendous, and I'm sure it is even stronger today. And I'm also sure that there are a few boys in the grandstands that will be pulled to the sport of the rodeo, much like I was. The Caldwell Night Rodeo, it is awesome.
No doubt Butch knows what it's all about. He's been the all-around and the saddle bronc riding champion here in Caldwell. The rough stock cowboys compete in 1 round. The timed event cowboys in 2. In calf roping, Chance Henderson is the leader. He's roped 2 and 17 and some change. The arena announcer here, Randy Corley. He's been the PRCA's announcer of the year for 6 straight years. And we're going to start with a cowboy that's one of the best to ever pick up a rope, 8-time world champion Roy Cooper.
Roy Cooper's been a world champion all-around cowboy. He's been a world champion calf roper, world champion steer roper. 17 trips to the national finals. You'd think after all that he'd slow down a little, but last year in 95, well, he was the average winner right down at the national finals rodeo. But he's 14th in the world coming here, so the pressure is on Roy to make it yet to another national finals rodeo.
He ropes this one in a time of 9 and 7, gives him a total time of 30.5 seconds on 3, and that really is the time to beat.
Well, Roy's known for riding some of the best horses in the business. As you watch his little horse right there slide to a stop. He is well mounted again in 1996. This calf kind of kicks him a little. He strains a little gathering him together. That was really the only problem with the run. Other than that, super run by Super Looper.
Now to the other world champion in the field. This is Fred Whitfield from Hockley, Texas. Fred won the world in 1991. He won it again last year.
Fred Whitfield probably is one of the best athletes in the sport of rodeo. He's a large man, but he is quick. And look at here, gets his hands in the air. You talk about quick, 8 and 7. This guy just always amazes me.
Well, he holds the NFR average record. He roped 10 in 91.7 seconds, averaging less than 10 seconds ahead.
And he also won over $70,000 that week down there in the National Finals Rodeo. Look how smooth he is. Just gets to his calf in a hurry, gets him up right into his hands. That's just perfect timing for a calf roper. This guy is super.
Rookie of the Year back in 1990, and he has accomplished so much in this decade. 2 world championships, and he is not done yet. Now to Brent Lewis. He's overcome some injuries that he had in 1995. He is back in the hunt in 1996.
Well, he injured his hand in 1995. In 1996 at the Red Bluff Roundup, he broke his leg steer wrestling. He was in the top 15 at that time. June 1st, he was not in the top 15, but he is right back in the thick of it. And watch out for this guy. He is going to be very competitive when he gets to the finals.
He was the 1994 Resistol Overall and Calf Roping Rookie of the Year. Picked these guys pretty well because Lewis is another guy that's gone on and accomplished quite a bit. And he's in contention once again.
You know, as I watch Brent Lewis, and I've watched him for a long time, he's a good athlete, but he's also a good horseman. I mean, he can ride any kind of horse and get by him. That plays a big role in this event.
8 and 7, needed a 9-1 to take the lead in the average away from Fred Whitfield, so he gets that done. As we move to Blair Burke, who competed in his first NFR last December in Las Vegas.
I mentioned at the top of the show, there are a lot of cowboys in this finals tonight that need to win in order to try to get to the national finals. Blair Burke's one of them, ranked 22nd when he got here, and you can tell in his mind he doesn't want to stay there. Another very fast run.
8 and 8 for Blair Burke. That's exactly what he needed to take the lead in the average, so he becomes the cowboy to beat.
Blair Burke, a second-generation cowboy. The experience that his father had, I'm sure, helped him as he's trying to get to yet another National Finals rodeo. Run goes together smooth, gets his hands in the air. Just what he needed to do.
Blair Burke, Brent Lewis, Fred Whitfield, all 3 of these guys have been the overall and calf roping rookies of the year in the 1990s. And all 3 of them are very tough cowboys that are becoming regulars at the National Finals Rodeo. Here's Tommy Guy. His only NFR appearance came back in 1993.
You know, I've talked about this event being probably the most competitive. And the reason I say that is guys like Tommy Guy are not well up in the top 15. This guy is amazing. Blair Burke, Tommy Guy, out of the top 15. That doesn't mean that they're not very capable of winning first every time they back in there.
10 and 9 the time for Tommy Guy. Needed 9-9, so Blair Burke still has the lead in the average just by a 1/10 of a second. And we're down to the final cowboy. It's Lieutenant Chance Henderson, who comes to Caldwell from Colorado Springs. Here's a guy that's attending the Air Force Academy, Butch, but he's also spending a lot of time in the rodeo arena.
Well, he college rodeoed out of that Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. He graduated, so now Lieutenant Henderson, well, he puts a pair of Wranglers on just like anyone else, and Lieutenant Henderson is a very good cowboy when he gets dressed up like one. Look at that run. Excellent. But a broken barrier goes from excellent to a mistake, and that cost him first place.
Well, he had the lead in the average coming into tonight, but that broken barrier definitely takes him out of contention. It was very close. 1/10 of a second separates Blair Burke and Brent Lewis. Lewis actually makes more money thanks to a little more success in the earlier rounds, but Burke is the average winner.
The Oklahoma boy, Blair Burke, traveled all the way up to Idaho to make this win. How was your calf tonight?
Oh, he was good. He'd been tied in 9 coming in. Raymond Hollabaugh, he was 9-5 on him in the first round, and I thought he was a good calf. I just knew I had to get a good start and finish as good as I could.
Well, this win has been at the end of a pretty good week, huh?
Yeah, I've had a good week. Last couple weeks have been real good. I won about $6,000 last week, second at Lovington, win Post Texas, and come up here, place in the first round, and come back fourth, I think, in the short round. And if I did good in the short round, I could win the average. And that guys kind of let me slip in there, and I won it.
Fred Whitfield has a big lead in the Wrangler series. If Fred can hold on through one more rodeo, he'll sew up a $2,000 year-end bonus. Fred is also the king of the Crown Royal World standings right now. Codiola's number 2 and the top all-around cowboy right now. Herbert Terrio is solidly in the top 5. Joe Beaver's been out with a broken hand since the end of June. He slipped all the way to 11th in the world in calf roping and 6th in the all-around standings.
The rodeo committee here goes to great lengths to make sure the Caldwell Night Rodeo is a huge success. Here's more on this Dodge truck look inside rodeo. The Wrangler World of Rodeo made stops at the Caldwell Night Rodeo in 1993 and 1994. In our 2 previous visits, the short go was held in the afternoon due to a lack of candle power in the stadium lights. But in 1995, the rodeo committee here corrected the problem.
Well, the lighting at this facility was over 30 years old, and we needed to upgrade. When we got to looking at the possibilities, we decided to continue the upgrade to the point that we could be filmed at night in hopes of securing ESPN coverage.
The committee here is truly one of a kind, proving great rodeos don't just happen, they take a lot of hard work.
Well, we have a 15-person, all-volunteer committee that works on a year-round basis to put the rodeo together. We've discovered that that's the only way it will work, so there's quite a bit of time and effort put into this production.
And will we notice a difference between daylight and dark performances? You bet.
Well, in 93 and 94, you were here on Sunday, and we put on what we thought were excellent performances. But tonight, you're going to see Caldwell Night Rodeo in the flesh. You're going to see the fans yelling and screaming and supporting the Cowboys, and the Cowboys trying that much harder because of it. It's a real treat here at Caldwell Night Rodeo.
This look inside rodeo was brought to you by Dodge Truck.
You guys are pathetic! You! Ever try keeping your eye on the ball? And you! Did you see that man touch the line? No! You're watching the game on a television that's the size of your puny little brain!
Nobody beats the whiz, and Mitsubishi wants you to go big. Buy any Mitsubishi big screen, big tube, or VCR. Pay nothing down, no interest, no accrued interest, and make no monthly payments till January 1998.
Now, get out there and go big!
And nobody beats the whiz, Total Entertainment Centers.
From now on, the promise of the internet and the power of television become one. Because from now on, NBC News and Microsoft will revolutionize the way you get news.
MSNBC.
A 24-hour cable and internet news service. The future of news from the people you know. MSNBC.
Walt Disney Pictures. No fear.
You know we're gonna hurt you. Bring it on.
No limits. No brakes. Just ducks.
Quack, quack. This guy is no duck.
Emilio Estevez.
Same old ducks.
D3, The Mighty Ducks. Rated PG. Starts Friday, October 4th at a theater near you.
Welcome back to Caldwell, Idaho, and a standing room-only crowd. The leader in steer wrestling is a name from the past. 1992 world champion Mark Roy, who's having quite a comeback year after being quiet since winning the world title. The big Canadian has a 0.4 of a second lead. We start with a 4-time NFR qualifier, Ivan Teagan. His last appearance in Las Vegas came back in 1994.
As late as June, Ivan Teagan wasn't even near the top 15. He woke up at Reno, won second. He won Cheyenne, and he is now number 5 in the world. This guy has been on fire this summer.
Well, he likes to go to the NFR, Butch, every other year. I was looking back at his record. He qualified in 88, 90, 92, 94. It's 1996, so it's only natural that he goes back.
I guess it's no surprise to Ivan, is it?
No, it's not. Great run here, too. 4-2. So Ivan becomes the cowboy to beat. And here's a cowboy that's captured the #1 spot in the Crown Royal World Standings earlier this year and has not surrendered it since. Chad Bedell from Jensen, Utah.
Well, I think the only way you could describe Chad's year is a great year. This guy has been on top in the world standings, and he has not faltered. And he has not faltered here at Caldwell either. He is on a roll.
4-2, that matches the run of Ivan Teagan. Needed 4 and 7 to take the lead in the average. He does that by a half of a second. Chad Bedell could be on a collision course with the 1996 PRCA World Championship. Well, Jason Lahr comes from Emporia, Kansas, and right now he's number 16 in the world. It's going to be a gut check for Jason to see if he can qualify for Las Vegas.
Well, Jason needs a 4 and 6 to take the lead away. That steer ran a little bit to the left, took him a little time to get around there. Once he got a hold of him, though, he nails him, but it's a little ways down the arena, and the time, well, it shows that.
5 and 7, not exactly what Jason needed. As we move to another cowboy who comes from Utah, this is Mark Parker.
Well, Mark needs 5 and 1. The spotted steer sets up, really had a good steer as far as to catch quick, but he kind of got tipped around that right horn, and that's not going to be what he needed.
I see Butch Kirby waving that flag. No time for Mark Parker. We're down to our final cowboy, and it is the 1992 world champion, Mark Roy.
Well, Mark Roy happens to be the first Canadian ever to win a steer wrestling championship, and that was back in 1992. We'll see what he can do here at Caldwell. He's trying to get back to the national finals after taking a little time off, going home and doing some other things. Number 24 in the world coming here to Caldwell. A win here is very important for big Mark Roy.
He's been to 2 NFRs, Butch, and in both of those, he contended for the world title, winning it in one of those years.
Well, this guy can handle cattle.
Knows how to get the job done. 5 and 1, needed a 5-6 or faster to take the lead away from Chad Bedell. He gets it. Big payday for Mark Roy. He wins more than $6,100. Chad Bedell is second. Roy's put together a nice late summer run. Jennifer Douglas has more.
Mark Roy was the world champion in 1992 in steer wrestling, but you've kind of been disappearing lately. Where have you been?
Well, after 92, I kind of lost my desire just a hair and decided to stay close to home and kind of be a family man a little bit and not travel as much. But this last year or so, I kind of got the fever again, and I'm back on the trail.
You've been on a roll, too. Are you going to make a run for NFR?
Well, with this win here, I should be inside the top 15, and yeah, I'm going to make a run for it.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
In the Wrangler Series, Chad Bedell has the lead, but this race is wide open. It will all be settled in November at the Cow Palace Grand National. In the Crown Royal World Standings, Bedell has widened his lead over Oatberry, the defending world champion. Ivan Teagan has moved all the way up to third. Mark Roy has also been on the move. He's now in the top 10, while Roy Duval, who was trying to qualify for a record 25th NFR, has dropped out of the top 20. One more look at Mark Roy. We'll be back in Caldwell right after this.
I've never been to Las Vegas.
Welcome to my town.
Checked into my hotel. It's a pyramid. Look at this place. This is amazing.
The lights, the shows.
There are lots of great shows in Las Vegas. I found out a new code.
24/7.
It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they're not kidding.
Never sleep.
Totally amazing.
There'll be plenty of time to rest when I get, back to work.
Can MasterCard help stop a thief? The answer lies in the tamper-resistant panel that MasterCard pioneered. It makes a stolen credit card practically useless. And your MasterCard even more secure. MasterCard, it's smart money.
Fall. Saturday afternoon. Tailgates. Fight songs. The big crowd. The big ticket. The Big Ten. In its 101st year, Big Ten college football. Saturdays on ESPN.
Welcome back to the Caldwell Night Rodeo. Jeff Metters along with Butch Knowles. Western Rodeo and Calgary providing the stock here. And that's a pretty good 1-2 punch, especially in the bronc riding.
Well, we have some great matchups. In fact, it looks like who's who in the saddle bronc riding. But it's a very important night for guys like Brad Germanson and Jess Martin. They're close to the top 15, and a good win here, well, that could get them all the way to the National Finals Rodeo.
I think what grabs me about this field, it's a great mix, Butch, of seasoned veterans who've won world championships and great young talent. You add that in with the broncs that we're going to see, it should be a great bronc riding.
Oh, the quality is there. It doesn't matter if it's veterans or the young guys.
Our Wrangler Pro officials, John Davis working along with Butch Kirby and Tommy Keith.
Things a lot different than that out here tonight.
And Brad Germanson's going to start things off, a 3-time world champion and a Hall of Fame inductee.
You know, he's in the Hall of Fame. A few years ago, he went to the national finals. Hadn't been there for a while. He won nearly $80,000 that week alone. He's 19th in the world right now. So the fall, well, he's a veteran. He's been there. He'd like to get to the national finals again.
I think right now the race really is between Billy Etbauer and Dan Mortensen. Both have won more than $100,000. I would not want Brad Germanson there. He can steal a really big piece of the pie.
You know, it's funny how it works, Jeff. As you go into the fall part of the rodeo season, the focus shifts a little away from the World Championship race, and everybody starts paying attention to those bottom holes, because just getting to the national final, like Brad proved in 1994, well, you can win a World Championship and go in there 15th, so it's very important.
77 points for Brad Germanson. He gets us off on the right foot. Next to go is Charlie Gardner. Charlie's won some big rodeos, but he's still waiting for that big breakthrough season.
Well, in 1994, Charlie was going head-to-head with Glenn O'Neill as far as for Rookie of the Year. Glenn barely beat him that year. But Charlie's a good bronc rider from Nevada, but it's not going to work here at Caldwell. As I was about to say, he follows in the footsteps of guys like Dan Filippini and Joe Marvel. Well, there's some great names ahead of him, and he'll be there.
Matched up with Intercept from Calgary, and things just didn't work out too well as we see our Dodge truck pickup men, Flint Hempstead, Harry Hamilton, and Gary Rimple doing the work tonight. And here's Dan Mortensen, the current boss and 3-time world champion in saddle bronc riding.
Well, Mortensen, it looked like Billy Etbauer was going to run away with the show this year. And Mortensen, well, he woke up, especially this summer. He has had a tremendous last 2 months. And things aren't changing moving into the fall run.
Well, a couple of years ago, Dan got his college degree, and he's been holding school in the rodeo arena ever since.
He's been teaching him a lesson or two. Is this big black horse, notice how he kind of runs the rein out of his hand. He comes around the corner. He's a difficult horse to make a real pretty ride on because he moves away from you all the time. Mortensen handles him just like the veteran champion bronc rider he is in 78 points.
78 gives him the lead in the average. As we move to another cowboy that's won 2 world titles in the 1990s himself, Robert Etbauer maxed up with Extra Jolly from the Calgary string.
Robert Etbauer, 2 world championships, 2 average championships at the national finals. This guy can handle it. In fact, he won the average last year at the national finals in the saddle bronc riding. And it looks like he's on his way to yet another trip to the national finals.
Number 9 in the world right now, Brother Billy, number 1 in the world. Robert needed 79 points, gets 77. We'll be back with the second half of the saddle bronc riding after this.
Wrangler cowboy cut jeans were designed by cowboys to be comfortable for an eternity. All 8 seconds of it. Wrangler, the Western original. Cowboys designed Wrangler cowboy cut jeans to be comfortable around the office, especially when your office is 40,000 acres. Wrangler, the Western original.
Jeff Metters, Butch Knowles back on the Wrangler World of Rodeo. Right now, Dan Mortensen has the lead in the saddle bronc riding. As we move to Jeff Shearer, who's usually a pickup man, but I'll tell you what, Butch, he's kind of picked up the saddle bronc riding and maybe on his way to Las Vegas.
Well, he really, much like Ivan Teagan, he has had a wake-up call this summer, doing real well at Cheyenne. He is 16th in the world right now. You know, and Jeff Shearer's the kind of guy that when you get to a rodeo, you look down a list, they're starting to worry about what horse Jeff Shearer has because he is doing very well and winning on all types of horses.
Jeff teams up with Old Paint there and scores 75 points. not going to be good enough to move Dan Mortensen out of the lead in the average. Next up, a Texas Cowboy, Charles Swallow, who's matched up with a bronc that's a regular at the NFR.
This is a ranked little horse that comes from Buddy Pinn's. Blue Jeans is the name of the horse. Charles needs 80 points, and he's got plenty of horse under him to get there. Good bronc rider from Stephenville, Texas. He gets a very aggressive ride put together, and he gets off in fine fashion. That is an excellent ride.
There's a Cowboy who's not in contention for the NFR, but boy, I'll tell you, watching that ride, you have to kind of wonder why.
Well, he'll be there. It's just a matter of time for Charles Swallow. He's the kind of guy that I've watched him ride a little bit throughout the last few years, and he makes these kind of rides quite a few times.
Well, that's the kind of horse that you like to see in these short goes. What a snappy little bronc. And Charles walks away with 79 points, not too shabby. Ryan Mapson is a Cowboy that's in a fight for his life. He is so close to qualifying for his first trip to Las Vegas.
Well, much like Jeff Shear and Brad Germanson, Ryan Mapson needs a win here at Caldwell, except he is 14th in the world. Very good horse. Rockin' Ronnie Skoll comes from Danny Russell, and he's got his hands full also. Super effort by Ryan Mapson.
Tough young bronc rider. We watched him place third in Cody. Rockin' Ronnie Skoll, pretty good draw. This is another bronc that's made 3 straight trips to the NFR.
Well, this is a tough horse to ride also, and as you watch this horse buck, watch his head. It comes right back up at the bronc rider, and that makes you lose leverage of that bronc rein. If you hang a foot or make one mistake during that move, well, you're on the ground. Mapston, he does everything correct and gets paid off dearly for it, 81 points.
Well, 81, that moves him to the lead in the average now. And we're down to the final Cowboy. Billy Ettbauer, earlier we asked him about the battle at the top between him and Dan Mortensen.
Well, I don't figure this year's any different than any other. You know, I mean, I still think the 15th guy can come up and beat both of us. You know, so until the final checks are handed out, you know, I mean, it could be anybody. You know, it's a race for everybody because there's enough money added that if you go to the finals and be hot, you know, and somebody's cold, you know, it can change hands in a hurry. So we'll just wait and just keep going horse by horse, and we'll just see what happens.
But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. You look at him and Dan Mortensen, 2 very different riding styles.
Well, they are different. You know, it's funny. I talked to Billy before the rodeo, and I go, Billy, you sure have a great year going. And he goes, yeah, I've been kind of lucky this year. And I thought, lucky? Come on, Billy. Wake up. That's not luck. He's just a tremendous saddle bronc rider.
He doesn't know how to safety up. He likes to take chances, and he really likes to rank horses, and he makes them count. 72 points for Billy Ettbauer. But it turns out to be a very good day for Ryan Mapson as he beats an NFR caliber field. He has a lot of momentum heading into the fall. I'd be real surprised if he doesn't hold on and finish in the top 15.
Ryan Mapson is knocking on the door for his very first NFR, and this is probably your biggest win yet, is that right?
Yeah, it is. The last check that I had with this size was at Cody, Wyoming this summer, and since then I've just kind of had some smaller ones, but this will probably be the biggest one.
And where does that put you for world standing?
I'm not sure. There's kind of a pretty tight race there at the bottom, but it should give me a pretty good cushion. Maybe somewhere around 13th, I'm not sure.
With the win, Ryan picks up a $500 bonus and the lead in our Wrangler Series standings. All of these Cowboys, though, could be the eventual series champion. In the Crown Royal World standings, we have an Old West shootout going on. Billy Ettbauer and Dan Mortensen are both already over the $100,000 mark. This will be quite a race in December. There's a look at 6 through 10. By the way, Brad Germanson has moved to number 17 in the world, while Ryan Mapson is comfortable for the moment at number 13. We'll return to the action of the Caldwell Night Rodeo in just a moment, but first, here's our Cowboy Classic, brought to you by the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Good friends, broken bones, and gold buckles are what Winston Bruce has to remember his rodeo career by. Bruce qualified for 10 NFRs and won 1 world championship in saddle bronc riding back in 1961. Bruce has broken both wrists, both elbows, and both shoulders, with most of the injuries coming as a kid. He says before 18, you're an accident waiting to happen. After 18, you're a happening that could have an accident. Today, Winston Bruce manages one of the most successful rodeo stock operations in the PRCA, the Calgary Exhibition and Stampede. This Cowboy Classic was brought to you by the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority.
It seems ironic that trucks so diligently engineered to be quiet would have so much volume. Dodge Ram and Dodge Ram Club Cab, the roomiest pickups on the road. The rules have changed.
Award Design Metals presents the 1995 National Finals Rodeo buckles in price ranges that fit every pocketbook. Pewter cast buckles for only $15, bronze cast for $25, gold tone and silver plate for $100. And for the serious collector, this silver plate, 22-karat gold plate, serial numbered limited edition. And this beautiful solid sterling silver and gold fill buckle that is limited to only 500 buckles at Finer Western stores.
This is my town. There ain't nothing like this place in Texas. Great rooms. This is the most famous strip of highway in the world. Beautiful, isn't it? This town is a fantasy.
Hi, you want to get married?
Actually, I was just here for a burger and fries. There's only one city like it. Las Vegas.
The cowboy's business is a business of silence. 100 miles of fence gives a person time to think, to wonder about who he is, what the world is coming to. Talk to a cowboy long enough and you'll get an opinion on everything. That's because he's had time to think about everything. Yeah, at Wrangler, we know cowboys. Our genes were invented by them. That's why the West is in us. Wrangler, the Western original.
Welcome back to the Wrangler World of Rodeo. Jeff Metters along with Butch Knowles. We're set now for the team roping under the lights. We have some very solid cowboys set to go.
Well, we truly have a star-studded field, but who's at the top of the heap? Charles Pogue and Alan Bach. Here's a team that's been in and out of that #1 position in the Crown Royal World standings all year long.
They've been battling with T. Woolman and Rich Skelton, but they have a chance now to recapture the top spot in the header and heeler standings. The first team, though, is going to be Chance Kelton and Matt Zancanella.
Here's a team back in 1995. They were very close to making their first national finals. Kelton was 19th in the world. Zancanella was 21st. This year, well, they're up a little closer. Kelton, number 14, Zancanella, 19. And a win here at Caldwell would really help their cause.
Their time, 6 and 2, and that's going to give the rest of the field something to shoot at. We have 4 more teams, though, that can better that 6 and 2. Here's one of them. I think this has been one of the best combinations this summer. This is Matt Tyler and Corey Kuntz.
Well, Tyler, as we watch him there at the head end, 9 national finals rodeos under his belt. Kuntz, well, he's got 4 NFRs. 2 times he's been the Bob Feist Invitational champion. These guys are pretty wicked, and 5 and 8, that shows it right there.
Yeah, Matt bought a new horse this summer, and boy, has he been red hot ever since. 5 and 8, they are the new leaders in the average. Now to David Moats and Brett Gould. Moats comes from California. Gould comes from Texas.
You talk about a veteran. David Moats, 20 years ago almost, 19 years ago exactly, he won the world championship. He's been to 19 national finals rodeos, 4 average championships. Gould, well, he's 9th in the world right now. This is a very good team himself.
That's wild. Moats, as you said, world champion in 77. Number 4 in the world coming in. He's right in contention for another world title almost 20 years later. Now to Rube Woolsey and Clay O'Brien Cooper. Of course, Cooper, a 7-time world champion. Usually ropes with Jake Barnes, but right now he's teamed up with Rube Woolsey.
Well, there's a good look at why he has 7 world champions under his belt as a healer. This guy is unbelievable. Just like a day off for Clay O'Brien Cooper.
Neither of these cowboys right now in the top 15, but this team really shows some promise.
Yes, they show some promise, and they may be very competitive when they get to the national finals.
Final team, Charles Pogue and Alan Bach, two guys that are slated to be serious contenders for the 1996 World Championships.
Well, Pogue, a good header. Alan Bach, watch this guy come around the corner, and as he misses, that's one of the few times I've seen Alan Bach miss. They needed 6 and 5. He may have hurried just a jump. Whatever the case, it's not going to work for them here at Caldwell.
Well, they'll wave this one off. No time for Charles Pogue and Alan Bach. So Woolsey and Cooper march in and really win by a comfortable margin in team roping. Tyler and Coots finish second. It's a solid payday for all three of the top teams. In our Wrangler series, we have a tie for first and second in the header category between J.D. Yates and Matt Tyler, and it's their partners who are tied for the lead on the heeler side. Now to the Crown Royal World Standings, where T. Woolman is just slightly ahead of Charles Pogue. David Moat's not all that far behind. For the heelers, Rich Skelton is the leader, with defending world champion Alan Bach number 2. Steve Northcott is number 3. Team roper Bobby Hurley made history in 1995 as he became the PRCA's first world champion header. Here's more on our Wrangler world champion. Bobby Hurley and Alan Bach took the National Finals Rodeo by storm in 1993, winning more than $41,000, landing Hurley his first world championship. They were back in 1994, winning another $37,000 plus, and their run continued in 1995 as they banked another $37,000, and Hurley became the PRCA's first world champion header.
It's kind of like Thomas and Mack is built for us. When we come in here, it's, you know, we've done so well here. It's just kind of our confidence level just goes up so much higher because our horses are built for it. I have some pretty strong head horses, and Alan has some really good heel horses, and that's kind of what it takes in here is, you know, it's the arena's so short and narrow that you have to have a horse that runs pretty hard and yet still strong.
Few would argue Bobby Hurley has great wheels. Trey Spiffy Dude was the AQHA PRCA heading horse of the year in 1994, and he's still going strong.
He's a 13-year-old horse, and he's a horse that he's really a smart horse. You know, I can rope on him all day, and then my little girl goes, she's 5 years old, and she goes and runs barrels on him at night. You know, and he knows the difference, you know, if I'm on him or if she is. And he's just really smart about stuff like this. You know, this is kind of his kind of arena. He's real strong from the horn when I rope the steers, and pulls those bigger steers up the wall a lot easier, and there's not a whole lot of drift in the steers.
Partner Alan Bach credits the team's success to Hurley's aggressive nature.
Bobby really is always mounted really well, and he's an extremely aggressive header. Like the minute he comes across the line, he's looking for a shot. He goes for first place every time, kind of like a guy shooting a three-pointer.
The first world championship satisfied a lifelong goal, while the second silenced the little voice of doubt in Bobby's mind.
But after you win it once, then you say to yourself, you know, am I good enough to win it again? Or, you know, it's kind of more or less to prove to yourself that you were able to win it once, to come back and do it again is just as nice as it is the first time.
Our conversation with Bobby Hurley was brought to you by Wrangler. When we come back, we'll turn the arena over to the ladies as we get set for barrel racing.
The biggest automotive sale ever. Classic Auto Group's Race for the Record. A challenge from 9 factories. Beat all dealer prices in our zone. You save thousands on Chevrolet, Honda, Nissan, Buick, Chrysler, Plymouth, Acura, Saab, Jaguar, BMW. Over 2,000 cars, trucks, and vans through Monday at South Jersey's largest automotive group, Classic. Race for the record. Make your next car a classic.
What do you want? More TV. Get more DSS for less at Nobody Beats the Wiz. Now get a digital satellite system for as low as $197 with $200 cash back from DirecTV. Want more sports? Score big at Nobody Beats the Wiz with the NFL Sunday Ticket from DirecTV on DSS. What are you gonna do? More DSS for less at Nobody Beats the Wiz. Turn it on.
Imagine a 24-hour network dedicated to bringing you nothing but news about sports. The best highlights, latest information, and instant updates, all right now, as it's happening. What would you call this network?
The most amazing, incredible, beautiful,
wonderful network ever created by mortal man.
Well, not quite. ESPN News Network, the 24-hour sports news network from ESPN. Who else?
Welcome back to Caldwell. Sold-out crowd. We're ready now for the barrel racing. The barrel racers competed in just one go. The fastest come back for this short go. And right now it appears Molly Swanson is the lady to beat. She won the first round with a 17:45. We'll start, though, with the Utah cowgirl, Annie Fisher-Rose. Not in the top 15 right now, but she has a chance at winning some serious money here in Caldwell.
Well, she split 4th and 5th in round number 1 with a 17.65 100. She'd like to add to that or maybe improve that in this second run, put a little pressure on the other girls. We'll see what she can do as she gets near that third and final turn. A good clean run and a good straight run out of the arena. Watch the clock.
And a great start for Annie Fisher-Rose, 17:34. She rides out. Lynette Sanders, who comes from Hooper, Utah, rides in.
Well, Annie Fisher-Rose has really put the pressure on Lynette Sanders and the other girls. This is a very competitive barrel racer. Lynette goes around, mainly around the wilderness circuit. Good second turn as she heads to that third and final turn. Needing a 17 22 100s to take the lead. We'll see what she does.
17:34, the run, well, very similar to Annie Fisher-Rose, but Annie had a slight lead coming in, so she holds on to the lead in the average. As we go to Molly Swanson, who comes from Sims, Montana. Molly was the 1995 college champion.
Well, the little horse kind of blows out of that second turn. She's ranked number 6 in the world right now. She needs a good win here at Caldwell to keep moving her up that ladder. But that little mistake on the second barrel, I think, cost Molly some precious seconds.
Oh, it did. 18:06 is her time. Final barrel racer, Jill Parker Atkinson, another lady from Utah. It's pretty simple. She needs to be 17:25 or faster to get the win.
Well, the ground's getting just a little dug up here. Good turn on that first barrel. Now, this horse runs just a little different style than we watch. He turns more on his front end. That doesn't necessarily mean he's any slower. It just means that he just runs a little different style. A good clean run, though. We'll watch the clock and see what she does.
She's fast, 17:32, but not fast enough. Molly Swanson was the only top 15 barrel racer, but she's a little slow in the final round. The win goes to Annie Fisher-Rose, who's standing by with Jennifer Douglas.
Instead of making a run for NFR, Annie Rose is making a run for her circuit finals. Are you basically traveling in your circuit?
Yes, I'm just staying close to home. I train futurity colts, and when I can get out to these rodeos, I enjoy it, so I try to make ones close to home.
So it's more of a hobby than a profession?
Pretty much. The money's great, and the people are great, so I try to get out as much as I can.
Annie also gets a $500 bonus for the win and 16 points in the Wrangler Series standings. But right now, it's 1995 World Champion